So again, you're in the roommate stage, but you're trying to get back to that lover stage. What does it need to look like? We're talking about now bringing back the intentional time and rekindling your physical connection. So again, we talked about intimacy. We talked about having those conversations. All those things can get you back to what Jaheim, I think it was, used to say, trying to find my way back. Like, you're trying to find your way back to love. And the only way to do that, again, is to start asking those questions. So this time we want to answer the question, what does feeling connected in our marriage look like for each of us? And what small step can we take this week to move into that direction? So we just got done talking about the garden analogy and how those values and those boundaries provide the guardrails, if you will, to allow you to go in the direction you need to move. So now you're asking the question, like, what steps can we take to get back to feeling connected? And again, like, remember that thing you used to do when y'all used to go on dates, when y'all were pursuing each other? Remember the places you used to go on dates too. Remember when you didn't have a lot of money, you were kind of broke, and so the dates were a lot simpler, and it didn't have to be a big extravaganza? Guess what? That's what you need to get back to doing.
Yeah.
To get back to feeling that connection. Get back to just meeting up after work and just going and having that ice cream and going for a walk. Get back to just having those conversations in the car before you go in the house and the kids bombard you and all the things or whatever. Get back to giving each other a phone call on your drive home or at work, just checking in and having those intimate moments or whatever over the phone where you don't want to hang up. Get back to those things. Those are the steps that you can start taking to get back to feeling connected. Yeah. It doesn't have to be something new. It doesn't have to be something big. It doesn't have to be something expensive. It can be the simplest things to get back to feeling connected.
Yeah, I remember, so in the beginning we were long distance. Our relationship was long distance, and we send our little email cards to each other.
Oh, like e-greetings, I think they were called.
It was the simplest thing, but it was so cool because you hear you've got mail.
Y'all probably don't have a clue what we're talking about.
Yes. RIP AOL. Anyway, but it was so cool to like get that notification and to run to the computer and open up my little e-greeting card and just see a nice, sweet message. It was like, oh, be sweet today. And it'd be a little bee flying across the screen. But it was simple and it was so cute and it made my day. So like Al said, it doesn't have to be this big extravagant date night. Get back to the basics because that is what helped you to form that bond in the beginning. Okay, so you got to remember, like, what started this? What were the things that we did before our lives were like this? Like, if you can remember those things, like, you can build off of that again. Like, you can allow that reconnection to happen because I know what I did to get your heart. So I know what I can do to keep your heart. So just understanding that and leaning into that, you can change it.
And I like that you mentioned date nights because, again, like, those are so important, so key. So I know that you're busy, but get back to having date nights. It doesn't have to, again, be an extravagant thing. Maybe you just have time right now to take that step of spending an hour together at a restaurant and getting some appetizers and drink or whatever, or just, again, connecting and just going for a walk and talking and things like that. But get back to those date nights so that you can get back to growing together and growing and understanding who each other are in this current stage of your relationship, in your marriage.
Yeah, and the next question talks about, like, the things that you did early on.
Yeah.
Like those date night, your favorite date night. What was your favorite date that we ever went on? And then you can work at recreating it. You don't even have to get creative. You can go back to what you did before. But when you talk about those early moments, it helps to bring like a fresh memory or, just a fresh renewal of yeah, we do like each other. We do enjoy being around each other. And then it just helps you to get back there.
Yeah, and I love this question because it's very reflective. Again, like you may say, like, well, I don't remember what we did in the beginning. But when you ask this question and you start to ponder on it and you reflect on it, then some things start to jog in your memory. And again, it's like, what do I miss most about the early days of our relationship? And again, like, how can I recreate those? So what do you miss? Start answering some of those questions. And again, it provides the steps to what's next so that you can get back to building that intentional connection that you once had with your spouse.
Yeah, and just to put some things out there in case it is hard. So, what did it look like when we first got home from work? Did we sit and talk a little bit? Did we cuddle a little bit? What does it look like when we got up in the morning? What did it look like when we would call each other throughout the day? You got to think about it. And I know it's hard because, like, my memory, I don't remember anything. But, like, if you actually sit down and remember, like, what did our lives look like? What did date night look like? What did Friday nights look like? What did sitting on the couch watching a movie look like?
Before we fall asleep.
Yeah. I don't fall asleep. But yes, remember what those things are because you can get back there.
Yes. And the last point that we have is when you're trying to get out of the roommate stage, when you're trying to return to being lovers, remember to tear up, don't tear down. So again, like, you have changed. You have grown. Things are different. But that doesn't mean that you have to tear down the current version of who your spouse is in order to rebuild or rekindle, because that won't rebuild or rekindle anything.
Right.
So again, tear up, don't tear down. Yes. Team up. I'm sorry. Team up.
Team up.
Don't tear down.
Yeah.
So what does it look like to team up?
Yeah.
What does it look like to come together again to build towards oneness instead of to tear down and start to grow actually apart or to tear apart? Again, making it biblical again, what God brings together says, let no man tear apart.
Yeah.
So don't let each other tear your marriage down. Don't let each other tear your marriage apart by saying things that don't need to be said, or saying things in a way that don't need to be said, or saying things that are hurtful or harmful, or criticizing growth because all you see is the change and you don't quite understand yet the growth. Like, team up with each other. And again, like, what would it look like if we treated each other how we did when we were first dating?
With that pursuit.
Yes. And start small. What would it look like just for 1 week? And then for 2 weeks? And then for 3 weeks?
Yeah.
Answer that question. And we believe that you can get back or find your way back to love, like Jaheim said again. Yeah. But again, like, you can rebuild that marriage to where you are no longer roommates. You're back to being lovers.
Yeah. And before we close out, I can remember a time where we had to write, and I was famous for having sticky notes everywhere, but I think I even wrote it on a mirror, and it said, we are on the same team.
Yeah.
Like, we want to, when you're teammates, you want your team to win. So, like, it had to be a constant reminder. So if something happened, I didn't take it personal. I didn't get offended, or I just remember it. Like, he said that, or he's doing this because he wants us to win. When he win, I win. So, like, making sure that you understand what it takes to be a good teammate. Okay, you got to be supportive. You got to have conversations. You got to help. Your teammate might need help in certain areas. They're strong in this area, but they're not as strong in this area. So what does it look to team up and help strengthen them in that area, or help pull out their strengths in another area to help yourself? Okay, so, like, you can do it.
Yes.
You can do it. These are action items that you guys can start right now implementing.
Yes. Know what your partner's strengths are, know what their weaknesses are, and play to each other's strengths, and you will win.
Yes. And in our brag sessions, we team up with you guys to kind of pull out these these conversations or to help facilitate these conversations so that we can help you win in your marriage.
Yeah.
Like, this is what we want. Build relationships according to God. Like, it is real. It is what we do. And we would love to walk alongside you guys in your journey. All right. Check out the link in the description to book a free break session. All right, y'all. Thank you so much for joining us. If you haven't, go ahead, hit the like button, subscribe to our channel, and go over to Instagram. Become one of our followers there, where we share marriage tips and tricks every single day. We'll see you guys in our next video.
Hey, brag on it.